Dinosaurs are an incredibly fascinating topic, but their behavior is also very interesting to explore. Contrary to the general belief, scientists are only now discovering truths about these ancient creatures and how they lived and behaved. This changes how we view dinosaurs and has a lot of people interested in learning more details about these creatures. Movies may give us a false impression of dinosaurs and their true scale. It's important to consider what fossils and real scientists say about the creatures we see in films. Dinosaur facts are now explained with points of view you might not have known about. Check these out to learn more. Some still think that because they didn't look like birds, dinosaurs were invincible. But interestingly enough, there are some which reproduced as teens to avoid going extinct. 10. Dinosaurs grew fast. Nature doesn't always fit a one-size-fits-all frame. There is a lot of flexibility when it comes to how different species grow. A bigger dinosaur might have undergone huge growth spurts in order to achieve their size, but they didn't live as long as adult dinosaurs, who stayed at the same size. Tyrannosaurs are indeed huge, and were almost twice as tall as a man. The biggest of them all weighed around 90 tons, which is about the size of 25 normal-sized elephants. Tyrannosaurs had 4 limbs and were herbivores. Dinosaurs have always fascinated us, and when biologists discovered that these creatures had existed around the same time as the mammals, they hatch with almost adult-like proportions. They grow fast, and their bizarrely giant reptile has a neck that is 35 feet long. The Tyrannosaurus rex were hit hard by the variety of other dinosaurs. Unlike other species, which often went through gradual growth over time, the T-Rex experienced rapid growth between adolescent and teenage years. 9. Dinosaurs never went extinct. The use of bird feathers and skeleton to show you what dinosaurs looked like has been around since the 1800s. Science proves that we live alongside dinosaurs. In the 60s, scientists discovered a fierce creature from earlier eras called the Deinonychus. It roamed North America during the early Cretaceous period and shared some similarities with birds. They were bipedal, meaning that they walk on 2 legs, and their main weapon was their sickle-like talons that grew to about 5 inches long. They used their tail to help maintain balance as they ran to attack prey. A Tyrannosaurus rex is a form of dinosaur, so it wouldn't have needed to reduce its size or change its lifestyle in order to survive. However, it's important to realize that over time, the temperatures may have altered. This would lead them to evolve features that now help them live in cooler climates. So next time you see a bird, remember that they were once fierce dinosaurs that ruled the world. 8. Some dinosaurs were smarter than others. Researchers agree that the Stegosaurus was the dumbest dinosaur, while the Troodon was the most intelligent. The Stegosaurus was a 4-legged herbivore well known for its backplate and spiked tail, while the Troodon was just known for being clever. Studies show that the Stegosaurus had a small brain, which did not match its size. While some might see this as an example of bad design, others would consider it to be logical. The Troodon was small and had a big brain, so they could think outside the box. The Troodon also had fewer things to worry about since it was smaller than other dinosaurs. The Deinonychus could be stealthy and use an array of tactics to capture prey. They also had stereo vision, speed, and big eyes that allowed them to see their surroundings more clearly. While the movie's exaggerations might have hyped up the magnificent reptile, it appears that they can strategize and communicate. Hopefully, if you ever head back in time, you won't have to deal with this smart bunch. 7. Dinosaurs lived on all continents. Dinosaurs lived on Earth for more than 230 million years, which is more than humans have occupied this planet. They had migrated on the single continent that was the Earth at that time called Pangaea. Gradually, as the supercontinent broke up into smaller continents, the dinosaurs reached various places. Some of their fossils have been found in these new areas. Over the years, different types of evidence that dinosaurs lived all over the world have been found from Europe to Africa, Asia, and the Americas. They've been uncovered from the soil from every continent by scientists from many disciplines, as well as curious landowners. 6. An asteroid didn't kill off all the dinosaurs. The extinction of the dinosaurs was a slow process. It took place over millions of years due to Earth's changing climate and could not, in any way, be attributed to one event. The asteroid that supposedly wiped them out was just one possibility among many. Scientists say that it may have been an asteroid that led to the extinction of dinosaurs. It happened about 66 million years ago, and the consequences were huge. A scary-sounding event occurred recently. An asteroid scarfed up soot and burned forests north of Libya. But things became even more dramatic when the resulting carbonated soot engulfed the planet, blocking out the sun for a time. After the asteroid hit, many of Earth's species very quickly fell. The conditions of post-apocalyptic have contributed to this extinction. Plant and animal extinction events have been a part of Earth's history. Unfortunately, these times can cause humans to forget the reason for being on the Earth. We also have to be concerned with UFO activity, as extraterrestrial beings might be heading our way. 5. Dinosaurs were as big as buildings or small as a chicken. There's a range of dinosaur sizes, and they can be small or larger than you might expect. Try and picture the different types of dinosaurs and their appearances before we move on to what we're discussing today. The titanosaur is the largest land-dwelling dinosaur that has been found. It can grow to about 46 feet tall and eat leaves as high as a 5-story building. It's almost incredible how much bigger this Mesozoic marine reptile was compared to others. The human body is 7 feet tall, so a museum might have to take the roof off when it's displayed. The Sauroposeidon was also much larger, at over 42 feet from its head to the end of its tail. Lecythosaurus is considered one of the smallest known Jurassic period reptiles, about the size of a chicken. They are not the shortest, but it is still an interesting prehistoric animal. Paleontologists discovered that the Oculodentavis congra was even smaller than previously thought, at just under a meter in length, which is about the size of a hummingbird. Compared to their larger dinosaur brethren, they were small and wings couldn't accompany them when they flew. 4. Most dinosaurs were vegetarian. Movies and books alike have traditionally only shown the Tyrannosaurus rex and velociraptors making a desperate last stand of violence, instead of the hypothetical, more peaceful side that science tells us about. And yet, scientific research has been more or less mistaken by the media, as there is no human present to speak for them. Most of them were vegetarian, which means that they wouldn't have attacked without provocation. In nature, there is balance out, and carnivores are often outnumbered by herbivores. Dinosaurs were once widespread, but not many remain. They fed on whatever could be found and traveled in large herds to protect themselves from predators. While their memory stirs up nostalgia among some, their presence offers researchers opportunities to learn more about these animals. Raising the issue of fictional representations of dinosaurs, the issue of flesh-eating or vegetarian dinosaurs has been brought up. Movies tend to depict one sort of dino as the hero and another as the villain. That gives viewers an inaccurate perception about their reality, which might be non-existent. 3. Cold-blood protected dinosaurs. One research that did manage to get attention was that of an experiment concerning cold-blooded reptiles. They revealed that rather than being just warm-blooded, some dinosaurs might have had a syndrome resembling cold-bloodedness. Dinosaurs have been studied for a long time, including their physiology. They were once thought to be cold-blooded, but new evidence has shown they metabolized heat just as warm-blooded animals do. Despite the new discoveries on the behavior of these lizards, it's difficult to speculate whether or not they were primarily cold-blooded creatures. There have been some new discoveries that seem to classify them as primarily cold-blooded. 2. Dinosaurs most likely had feathers, not scales. You may have heard that dinosaurs and birds share many similarities, and that includes feathers, but it seems that this isn't the case. While birds are often thought to be the only creatures with feathers, Recently discovered fossil records show evidence of dinosaurs possessing them as well. It's been a long-held belief among people that the only birds descended from the dinosaurs. However, scientists have since unearthed a specimen with feathers and DNA from a creature that was not directly related to birds. In 1996, they discovered Sinosauropteryx, an early ancestor to dinosaurs, which possessed this quality. A recently discovered fossilized dino uncovered a long-held theory on the appearance and behavior of these creatures. Fossils show that some had feathers as well as scales, not as commonly seen. This helps support theories on what these creatures really looked like millions of years ago. Scientists are able to be confident on the presence of feathers on meat eaters because they have many theories that suggest this. It is likely that some birds went extinct with the dinosaurs, but due to lack of evidence for this, it is unknown if all birds had feathers. Dinosaur avian descendants play a role in history and science, as well as being popular pets. The ones we know about today are featured in the Jurassic Park movies and other similar films. 1. Powerful T-Rex teeth. Until recently, dinosaurs were thought to be the dominant species on Earth. They have been wiped out for a reason, and these new facts give us an insight into their habits. Some of them get a bad rap for their ridiculously short arms, but they still had saw-like teeth that made them powerful hunters of other animals. A new T-Rex fossil was discovered last month. They found it 4 to 5 feet long, 10 inches in diameter, and had a set of sharp teeth that lasted for coffee breaks at work. It would have been too bad if the design flaw wasn't taken into account. These days, many research scientists are carrying around the size of a fully grown Siberian tiger in order to get a sense of just how powerful the Tyrannosaurus rex was. A new study on the jaw of a Tyrannosaurus rex shows that it must have had a 4-foot-long mouth, even though most dinosaur fossils show that T-Rexes had only 60 teeth. The dinosaurs were a group of reptiles that lived on Earth approximately 200 million years ago. They were the most successful of the long-lived groups of animals called the Archosaurs. Theoretically, the dinosaurs became extinct approximately 65 million years ago, at the end of the Cretaceous period, when a large asteroid or comet hit Earth, triggering a mass extinction event. Thank you for watching. You can support us by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. See you soon.